ahead. Let's move on. A new IPO opens tomorrow, Tara Jewels. I think after a gap of about 5 months, we've seen a new IPO hitting the market. Let me introduce the IPO details before we welcome the management. Issue is price band between 225 to 230. Issue opens tomorrow, ends on 23rd. Bid lot is 50 shares. It has been assigned a rating of 3 out of 5 by ICRA. 50% is for the QIB, non-institutional gets 15%, retail gets 35%. 66 crores would be given, would be taken by the management for retail store establishment, and loan prepayment would be worth about 50 crore from the IPO. About 220 crore is the IPO size. Expansion is what they plan to do with the money. And if you look at the valuations at trailing EPS and trailing EPS of about 29.97, which they clocked last year, the stock trades at 7.5 to 7.6 on a PE multiple, on a trailing PE multiple, which is, I think, at the very lowest of the spectrum if you compare the stock to a Titan, which trades at about 38, Gitanjali, which trades at about 7, Goenka, which trades at about 41. So clearly in terms of valuation, it is very, very attractive. Earnings have been pretty substantial, and the jump has been pretty substantial for the management over the last couple of years. Let's bring in the management. We have the management joining us right now. Mr. Rajiv Sheth, the CMD, joins us from Mumbai. Mr. Sheth, great having you with us. Let's talk about the rationale of coming out with an IPO at this point of time. We haven't really seen an issue coming out for the last 5 months. You're sure the issue will go through?
I believe that the markets have significantly changed in the last 30 days. And yes, for an IPO of the size of Tara Jewels, I think the markets are absolutely ready for that.
Okay, then let's talk about the growth plans that you have at Tara Jewels. What have you planned in terms of growth for the company ahead?
Okay, so principally the company is involved in 3 main pockets. One is exports, the other is retail, and the third is manufacturing. From a retail point of view, we are currently in 19 cities with 30 stores, and in the process of putting up another additional 20 stores. From an export point of view, we are literally jewelers to the world, export right across the world, and currently 80% of our turnover of 1,400 crores comes out of exports. Our major dealing in exports is with the Western retail world, so the top retailers of the world is who we cater to, jewelry retailers of the world. And from a manufacturing front, we have 4 manufacturing units, 3 in India, 2 inside Seeps, where our flagship operation is also, and 1 outside Seeps that caters to the domestic market, and a factory in mainland China in a place called Penyu.
Obviously, I want to talk about the branded business. Success in this business depends a lot about how well brands are established, and what is your game plan, both on the overseas and on the local front, to grow your brands?
On an international front, Tara Jewels provides a product that goes way beyond just the jewelry in itself. We are actively involved in co-branding the produce that we send to the retailers. So which means even though it is being sold under their own name, we are involved in branding it, in its placement in magazines, in flyers, within the store, and the way it is laid out. So we are actively involved with that, but we are also selling them branded product, which means under a label that is owned by us. It's the intellectual property of Tara Jewels itself, but placed in a Western retail store. There are numerous retailers that carry our brand, or a brand that is owned by us. Within the Indian market, our concentration right now is purely to build Tara Jewels as a brand. So we are not one of those companies that below the main brand there are sub-brands and a lot of money is spent on creating those sub-brands. Our strategy is there is a lot of work yet to be done in building the brand Tara itself, and all our efforts are guided towards building that singular brand.
Would the bulk of the proceeds be used for retail expansion?
That's correct. Our total issue size is 220 crores, of which 70 crores is offer to sell. It is a foreign stakeholder that is there in the company who is looking to sell his shares. So the balance 150 crores that is left is predominantly for adding these extra 20 stores. and the working capital associated with that.
What is the total debt on your books, sir? Any plans to offload the debt to issue proceeds?
Okay, so one of the key factors is that we moved into retail ourselves. It's a very important move that the company has made to move into retail within the Indian market. So as you can well understand, the profit earned in our business is one part of it is in the manufacturing process, and the second leg is in the actual retailing process. By involving ourselves purely as an export company, it gave us the export or manufacturing profits. But by entering into retail, it gave us a combination of manufacturing and retailing profits put together. So that's where you see most of our growth coming from. Other contributing factors are the branded product that we sell to our international retailers. That's where majority of our growth came from.
Can you talk about the total debt that you have?
The company has basically believed in building a model structure that is growth oriented, all right, but is a sustainable growth. Our past track records have shown the figures that you just said in terms of the type of growth we've had. But any forward projecting figures, I really wouldn't want to commit to, given the fact that we are within our IPO mode.
Can you talk about the blended margins, sir, the outlook ahead?
Again, on the peer group, I don't really have that much in-depth knowledge of the activity that they do, but within our own company, our financial figures clearly spell out the PAT margins that the company earns. The return on the ROCE that it earns is somewhere in the region of 20%.
With demand for jewelry coming down due to higher prices, how do you plan to tackle the slowdown?
Not really. In my personal opinion, there has been a positive shift in the marketplace from plain gold jewelry to diamond-studded jewelry. There has also been a shift in the traditional form of where jewelry was bought. It's moved from purely being an investment-oriented purchase to an investment come fashion come adornment purchase. The new manufacturing processes that are being introduced is making the jewelry lighter. So I can quite imagine that there may be a dip in the quantum of gold used, but I definitely don't believe that there would be a dip in the sales numbers or the growth of the industry as a whole.
All right, this is it. All the very best, sir. The IPO opens tomorrow. We'll be eagerly tracking the development and the kind of subscription demand that this IPO gets. After a very long time, we've seen an IPO hit the primary markets. Let's move on. Let's talk about Jubilant FoodWorks. Now, interestingly,